Welcome back, children. Civics, Unit 2, Chapter 4, Understanding Laws. Introduction. In the previous chapter, you have read about different laws, such as that what age a person can vote, at what age, at which Indian man and woman can get married, among others. We know that in a democratic country like India, the parliamentary body is in charge of making different laws. In this chapter, we will try to understand whether these laws are applicable to everyone, how these new laws are formed, can a new law be controversial, what should be the citizens' reaction when these things happens. Do laws apply to all? Suppose a top government official helps his daughter in hiding because the latter has been given a 5-year sentence for the crime that she has committed, which has been proved in the court. From this example, it is clear that the official action is against the law. It is clear that he has tried to violate the law. In Chapter 1, it was explained that while framing different laws, the members of the Constituent Assembly had agreed on this fact that in independent India there shall be no arbitrary exercise of power. Hence, several provisions were instituted in the Constitution that would establish the law's rule. The most important among all rules was that all the citizens of India were equal. Law does not discriminate between different citizens on the basis of their caste, religion, or gender. The rules of law means that no citizen is above the law, and all these laws apply equally to every Indian citizen. Whether a person is wealthy, a government official, or even the country's president, everyone is equal before the law. If the person commits a crime or violates the law, it has specific punishment. There also exists a process through which the person's guilt can be established. However, the question is, has the system been like this? In ancient time, there existed innumerable laws. Local laws often overlapped each other. Different communities had different stages of autonomy as they administered these laws among themselves. In some cases, two persons belonging to different castes received different punishment, while the upper caste person received a lenient punishment. This belonging to the lower caste received harsher punishment. However, during the colonial period, this process began to change as the laws started evolving. It has been stated that the rule of law was introduced in India by the British colonialists. However, the historians have always disputed this fact on several grounds. Two of these are: first, the colonial rule was arbitrary; second, Indian nationalists had an important role in developing British India's legal sphere. The Sedition Act of 1870 was such that it continued to exist and was an example of arbitrariness by the Britishers. Any person who criticized or protested against the policy of the British, he could immediately get arrested without any trial. Soon the Indian nationalists started opposing and criticizing the Britishers' arbitrary use of authority. They demanded equality and wanted to change the aim of law from being some rules which were imposed upon the people to bring an idea that promoted the aim of imparting justice. As the 19th century ended, the legal profession in India also began to emerge. They gained respect for Indians in the colonial courts. They started taking the help of law to defend the rights of fellow Indians. Even Indian judges had a greater role in the process of decision making inside the colonial courts. Hence, there existed several ways through which the Indian had started playing a major role in the evolution of the rule during the British rule. Once independent India adopted a constitution, this document served as the foundations on the basis of which the Indian lawmaker and elected representatives started making laws for Indians. Every year, these representatives pass many new laws. They also make amendments in the currently existing laws. In class 6, students, you might have studied about the Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. It states that daughters, sons, as well as the mothers have right to get an equal share in the family property. Apart from that, several new laws have been passed. How do new laws come about? When a new law is being defeated, the parliament has a key role in the process. It takes place in different ways. Mostly it has been observed that different groups of Indian society raise their voice if the country needs a particular law. While making laws, the lawmakers in the parliament need to be sensitive to the demands of the people. For example, several lawmakers, students and activists came together so that an act to prevent domestic violence should be formed. They submitted a draft to the Parliamentary Standing Committee, which in turn submitted its recommendations to the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Once the bill was passed in the two houses, it was sent to the President. Finally, the Bill for Protection of Women Against Domestic Violence Act came into existence in 2005. Domestic violence refers to any harm, injury or threat caused by the action of an adult male, usually by a husband, against his wife. Injury can also be caused if the man abuses a man or a woman emotionally or beats her physically. According to the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, the term domestic is extended to all those women who live or have lived under a shared household with that maid member who causes the violence. The citizen's role is crucial when the parliament is framing different concerns that the Indian citizens might have regarding the laws. When a law is being processed at every stage, the voice of the citizen is important, whether it's about establishing a new law or it being passed. The voice of the people can be heard through TV, debates, social medias, newspaper, editorials and reports, local meetings, radio, broadcast, etc. With the help of this, the parliament's work becomes more transparent and accessible to the people. Unpopular and controversial laws. There have been certain situations where after the parliament passed a law, it became unpopular among the people. At times, even if the law is constitutionally valid and thereby legal, people may find it unacceptable and unpopular. They might feel that the intention behind it is harmful and unfair. Therefore, a group of people may come ahead to criticize the law, hold meetings regarding it, write against it in newspaper, report it to the news channels, TV channels, etc. In a democratic country like India, people can express their unwillingness to accept a law formed by the parliament, which they think is repressive. If the large number of citizens feel that the law making body has passed a wrong law, there arises a pressure on the parliament to change it. For example, according to the municipal laws, vending and street hawking is illegal in the space within the municipal limits. Here I will give you the example that few months back, Law Garden, that cow gully, was totally demolished, and the new setup has been uh, constructed over there by Hungry Streets. Payments are made so that the people can walk on them. And here also, children, you can see that if you go for a shopping in the wall cities area, it becomes very difficult to walk, because all the payments, that is the footpath, is meant for the people who walk. That is also covered by the small hawkers, especially when there is a heavy traffic. However, even hawkers and vendors provide cheap services to millions in a city when they sell things. It is a means of livelihood for them. Therefore, if the law is made which favors one group and ignores the other, the law will be regarded as being controversial. It can even lead to a conflict. The people who think that such laws are not fair also have an option to approach the court where the issue will be decided. The court has the power to modify or cancel a law which does not adhere to the constitution. As a citizen, our duty is more than the electing representative to the parliament. It begins when we carefully read the newspaper and watch the news to vote how the members of parliament, that is MPs, are performing, and check if they are working for the welfare of the voters in their respective constituencies or not. We need to criticize their action whenever required. It is enthusiasm, involvement, and extent of the people which helps the parliamentary representatives to perform their duties properly. Thank you.